Hello, welcome to Ghost Prime Reviews. So before we get started doing anything, why don't you just go down and hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. It helps me greatly. Leave a comment. I love hearing comments. I'll respond for most comments, unless you're a jerk. I want to take a look at the Battle Across Time 2-pack from Amazon. It's available right now as of this video. Earthrise or Earth Mode Mirage and Maximal Grimlock. Kind of a mixed bag with these. They definitely are trying to hit two different audiences with them, and I don't know if it really works. One of these is a surprise, and one of these is a letdown. So, without any further ado, let's get to the review. And as usual, we're going to start out by taking a look at the packaging. Now, the packaging is beautiful, as they have been. They have wonderful artwork on it. Just really, really excellent. You see Maximal Grimlock there. You've got the green eyes. Now, on the toy, they didn't paint those green, which I kind of would have liked them to. However, got Mirage here. Looking very, very cool. On the side, Dynabot's right there. Starscream's up there. Looks like Starscream's shooting the green lasers that I mentioned in my last video. We now have an answer. Let's get the camera on both of these. I like boxes that do this. I think this is just really cool. That's a full picture of the Battle Across Time 2-pack. One cohesive image. It's hard to keep boxes, but this is cool. This is just really, really cool. And on the top, it says Battle Across Time Collection. War for Cybertron Kingdom 40. This was 42. And you get Maximal and Autobot logos. On the back, you have the Earth mode for Mirage and the Alt mode, and the same with almost a Dynabot. Same with Grimlock. So on the bottom, really nothing to write home about. And in an odd bit of QC, I did not get any instructions with mine. Now I know how to transform. I could figure out how to transform them. It's really not that big of a deal, but mine didn't come with any instructions. So when you open the box, you're supposed to get instructions. You also get the tail piece for Grimlock, which opens up just like Dynabot. The sword. You get the missile launcher, shoulder launcher for Mirage, which is not really a missile launcher in this one. And Mirage's weapon, which is the same as we got with the Siege version. Okay, here they are in robot mode, armed up. And yeah, that's a shoulder missile launcher. I wish there's a port for it. There's no port for it. That's the first thing wrong with this guy. Now, Grimlock is what we'd expect. He's a great homage to the original Beast Wars character. The nice looking paint on him, the new head. He, of course, can't hold the sword just like Dynabot. You put the sword in the middle there, so you can kind of do what you want with it. Not as many options, of course, with Mirage. Mirage, though, has a ton of retooled parts. Almost this entire thing is retooled except for the waist, the head, and I think that's about it. Oh, the feet and these little mechanisms inside the legs. Other than that, everything is pretty much retooled. Oh, one more thing. The wheels, the rims. I didn't think about that. But as far as the actual robot, there's a lot of retools. The engineering is different too. They kind of made it a Earth mode. It's okay. So I'll do some comparisons. Let's get up some closer on some of these guys here. A quick look at a real close up of Grimlock's head sculpt. It is a gorgeous looking head sculpt with wonderful, like green, almost glowing eyes. It is just a beautiful head sculpt. Actually, there's one of the things that is just gorgeous about this figure is that head. I mean, it is the new figure, new part of the tooling. Everything else is the same. The color breakdown is interesting. There's a line here, which I don't think is supposed to be there, in that dino head. It doesn't bother me much. It actually kind of fits. It looks okay. If you keep going down, the gold it's kind of disjointed a little bit. It doesn't bother me too much, and down into the feet. Otherwise, I like the color breakup on him. I really do. The gray forearms and white upper arms. He looks really good. Now moving into Mirage here. Mirage actually looks decent in robot mode. I will give him that. The head sculpt is exactly the same as the Siege. Like I said, and I'll keep saying, I do wish it was the clear one. The one that was clear, the Generation 1 style toy head. I like that. one of the really cool things is it says orc right here. The original Mirage said elf. It's kind of, it's funny. A nice little joke. I like that. I think that's cool. He does not have any place to mount the shoulder cannon whatsoever. Maybe I could 3D print something here to go here to make him have a shoulder mount, but it does not look great. But going down, he has a ton of new sculpted pieces. He has thighs that are painted, and that's a new sculpt. He has the shins, which are the size of the car, which are also painted, and it's a new sculpt. The feet are the same, and this little tiny transformation piece on there, the little bar is the same sculpt. But he looks really good. If you notice, I don't know if it shows up super well on the legs here. Maybe I could point it out when he's in alt mode, but this 26 is skewed up this way a little bit, and this one's straight. That's just lazy and not good QC in my opinion. There's also a QC issue where my head pops off really easily. In fact, I can't actually get it to stay on during transformation. There is, of course, the back of him. Overall, he looks decent. I still don't think they topped the Classics version of Mirage, unfortunately. So let's get into some comparisons. Okay, first off, for comparison, let's check out Grimlock against Dynabot. You see how they compare together. See the colors. The color actually definitely kind of make him his own character in a way that is interesting, because this is just, I mean, it's a repaint. It's an exact repaint, except for the head. It's the same, but it really stands out, the coloration of him, and makes it a whole different figure. That's really cool that they did that. In my opinion, this is the star of this 2-pack. All right, so let's take a look at Mirage real fast. Now, Mirage is supposed to be kind of an upgraded version of the Generation 1. And there's my Generation 1 right there. I think they do an okay job. There's the elf I was talking about versus the orc, which is kind of cool. It's reminiscent, I guess. He has a faux chest, and this is a real chest. I don't really care for the faux parts too much. But you can see how much larger he is. Here he is with his Siege counterpart. As you can tell from this video, they lightened up the blue. He does not have the translucent legs, which is a better feature. The translucent legs look nice, but man, over time I'm afraid I'm going to break those. The chest is flatter, doesn't stick out as much. He looks about the same width. He definitely looks like he has a bigger chest here. Looks thinner just the way it works. I think they're about the same width. Same head, darker blue here, lighter blue here. The weapons are ever so slightly different. This on the missile launcher is silver, where this one's black. You can look at the side real quick so you can just so you can see some of these retooled parts. There is a ton of retooled parts on this guy. I mean, an absolute ton. Everything from the pieces on the legs, even the forearms, the spoiler, even on here's the back. There is a lot. They did a lot. I mean, they really worked on this thing. I think they missed the mark, because I mean, it doesn't quite work. It does and it doesn't. I like it and I don't. I don't like it because the QC issues. I think maybe I would have liked it more if it came out when this one came out and it had a shoulder launcher. Maybe I'm being petty. I don't know. Let me know what you think. And here is the clear version. Now, that's the head I would have loved to see on this one. I would have loved to see that toy head. The more I look at this one, the more I like the robot mode. I just wish it was better. So as far as transformation goes, as far as articulation goes, articulation is pretty much the same. His shoulders go here. You can kind of move up a little bit more if you want to break the transformation there, the transformation joint. So he's got a bit more range. His shoulder can go all the way around. He has bicep swivel, about 90 degrees at the elbow, nothing at the wrist. He has waist swivel. He has a knee bend, which is 90 degrees or so. You could move his feet for big giant A stance. His head is kind of on a ball joint. It doesn't really move much. It will go all the way around. So, I mean, you have that. It's this pretty much exactly the same articulation as previously, with the exception of this joint right here. Transformation is different, and it's okay. Let me show you. So take off his weapons. Unhinge these pieces here on the arms. Move these up. The joints on this do feel good and tight. That's one thing I will say. Some of them might be a little too tight for me, but they do feel good and tight. Then what you want to do is you want to undo this piece right here. It's on a hinge. And so this is where it falls apart for me. See the head? This head will not stay here. So if I squeeze this, get to stay. Let me move the wheels out first. So take the wheels, move them around, just like on the Siege version. So the head is supposed to, see if I can squeeze it. It's supposed to come out and swing around. Now mine just comes right off. See, it's completely loose in there. If I squeeze it, I could get it to hold and then put that piece back on the tab. Then it'll hold in there because it's being frictioned in between the two. So it'll stay. But it's a shame that head, first thing it does is pop off. Really, really irritating. Take his fists, move his fists in, like so. And you take his legs or his feet, move his feet and points his feet down. Pointy toes like this, just like on the Siege. That. I'm going to take his whole body here. And kind of, there's a bar, there's a joint there and a joint there, so you can extend it like this, and that'll flatten it out. So this actually becomes the bottom. So it actually sits like this. And then move his legs in like this. Take this piece, just like the Siege, swing it up. Move this part around. These pieces like to fall off on me a lot too. Particularly that one, which I'm glad it did not. And there's a little tab there, it goes inside. Kind of want to get that in there. I always have trouble on this one. Not as much as on the Siege. There we go. And same thing on the other side. You kind of get these to go together. Now, one thing on this, I can show you in here, there are little tabs on the edge of the spoiler on the chest, and they tab into these pieces here. And there's tabs here, these two tabs on the front there. And for the life of me, I cannot get this thing to sit completely flush together. At least the Autobot logo is straight. I know there's been a problem with other people on theirs. So I have it like this. Take the arms up, and you could put these down. So then what you want to do is these two pieces actually are going to tab together. Kind of move them in, tap them together like this. And they kind of slide over these little pieces here, kind of supposed to help. It doesn't actually tab in really well, but it's supposed to help keep that together. And then take the spoiler, make sure the spoiler is together like this. Kind of squeeze it all in place, and there he is in alt mode. Now, coming a little closer on alt mode, we take a look at just at the paintwork and what he looks like. He has the 26 there. See how it's kind of skewed up a little bit of there? And that one is straight. A little bit of, it's a small, very small detail. It's a little bit annoying, but this is huge. It's not very aerodynamic for an F1 car. I wish they could have done something different with the arms. The some complaint I had with Siege. I do like the back though. I think the back cleans up pretty cool. How this kind of looks like an engine sticking out there. That kind of works for me. The faux chest is tucked under there, and it rolls pretty well. I'm not gonna say that it doesn't roll very well. It can roll. Now you can take his weapons, stick them into ports that are on either side of the seat there. Squeeze that back because it always comes apart. And you have him kind of an armed F1 racer. All right, here he is with the Siege version. Now, honestly, I think the Siege version does a better job. He feels better going together. It doesn't feel it's not as hard to get into as this way. It doesn't fight me at all getting into alt mode. It has a better feeling about it. I do like how they move the spoiler back, so it does have a longer, more relaxed look. You can see where the back, they completely changed the back on these guys. This one is definitely better. Like overall, I do like this one. I just think that they didn't put as much care into the engineering as they did this one. This one is the afterthought from this one, instead of them thinking, okay, here's what they're eventually going to do, so they want to make something in the meantime, which is kind of like how Sideswipe feels. This doesn't feel that way. This is disjointed, and the pieces don't fit together just right. They pop off. And it's kind of hard to get into this mode. It kind of fights you a little bit. Where this one, everything feels nice and smooth. It connects really well together. It rolls, you know, and it feels better. It just feels better. It has a much better feeling to it. I like that kind of the paint breakup is a bit better too. I think this one has better paint work. But I mean, like I said, let me know what you guys think. Which one do you like better? All right, moving on to Dynabot. Now, I'm not going to go through transformation or articulation on him. He's the same as Dynabot. You can check out my video for that if you'd like to. His head is on a ball joint and actually has a good range of motion. I think it's the only thing I'm going to show because it does have a really, really good range of motion. So I will be right back with alt mode. All right, and here he is. So he looks pretty good. Actually, I like the color breakup on him in Dyno mode. He actually does a pretty good job. I like how the colors, the gray, the black, and the white, they all shine through really, really nice. He doesn't have those giant gold pieces here that make him look like he has dino boobs, as my wife says. He looks pretty cool. And if you get it like real close there, he actually has pupils on the eyes. Focus on there. Focus, camera, focus. There it is. See, look at that. That's pretty cool. You know, same articulation. He does have a painted inside red on his mouth, the tongue. I think this is a really, really decent looking mode. I think he actually, in this, it stands out from Dynabot. Now, of course, it does have a lot of the same problems with these being hard to get together and stuff like that as Dynabot does. It doesn't really fix any of those problems, but the color breakup is really neat. It's really, really neat. So let's bring in Dynabot real quick. All right. So there they are together. So you can really see the color breakup. Now, where this one was definitely made for robot mode, as far as colorations are concerned, they took a lot of, they really made the robot look really decent on this. And there was a really conscious decision. It becomes very clear when you're looking at the dinosaur mode as to where it has the dino boobs sitting out there. It's a little bit disjointed. The colors, the blue and the tail. So as to where this one doesn't really have any of that. It has a little red here, but it's not as obtrusive as that blue showing up. Same with the dino boobs. Now the underside a little bit has the gold. So you kind of, take what you can get there. But overall, this was definitely, looks like it was definitely made for the dinosaur mode because it all just comes together really neatly. Overall, I think the Dynabot mode is better on this one and the robot mode is better on this one, but it is a really good figure. All the joints feel really nice, doesn't fall apart like the Mirage. This is the star of my pack. Now, your mileage may vary, but this was the star of my pack. So here they both are in alt mode, and they're all right. It's not a bad pack. It's on Amazon now, like I said at the time of this video. So pick it up if you're so inclined. If you want a Mirage that is in Earth mode, it's not terrible, but I don't think it's as good as the Siege. So as you can see, this guy isn't the same quality as the previous ones from Siege. He's just not. He looks pretty decent in robot mode, but mine has that head popping off problem. The little spoiler piece pops off when I transform it. Incorrectly oriented 26 on the leg or the side of the car. No place to put the shoulder mounted weapon. I wanted to like it. I really wanted an Earth mode Mirage. Something that's good, something that's updated from the size that would fit into the Siege, Earthrise, Kingdom, War for Cybertron. I'm not sure this is it. It looks okay. I wanted better. This, on the other hand, was kind of a surprise. It's got a great head sculpt. It's got wonderful color breakdown. He's actually really cool looking. The dinosaur mode looks better than Dynabot. Does a really good job on this. So, I guess, take it or leave it. This one doesn't add up. I wish this one had the toy mode head that the clear one has. That would have been cool, and that would have given a little bit more points for me. So yeah, you know, if you like this video, hit that thumbs up button, hit the thumbs down vote button if you have to. Subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later.